Florida. We've got Jon and Sonya from Meeple Movers from Ocala, Florida joining us. So hi, Jon and Sonya. How are you guys doing today?
Hey, John. Doing great. How are you?
Excellent. It's good to see you guys. How are things going in Florida?
Warmer.
Definitely. No threat of snow here.
Yeah, I have a long sleeve shirt on today and I was wearing a jacket to walk my dog this morning. So it's a little nippy here in Ohio.
Yeah.
But you're about an hour north of Disney, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much standards for here. So
excellent, excellent, excellent. So tell me a little about Meeple Movers.
So Meeple Movers actually started back in 2015. We were an online game store for the past 6 years until maybe the last 6 months or so ago, when we needed to get a whole lot of product out of our house, and we decided to move it into a warehouse. That was not the plan. We were on our path to opening a board game cafe at the onset of COVID last year. Well, those plans obviously got kiboshed pretty quickly, but so now we're brick and mortar.
Excellent, very good. So tell me a little about, I know we had a conversation about this when we were in Reno years, feels like forever ago. We were talking about how you got started doing gaming groups, and that kind of led you into kind of doing this. Is that right?
So we actually began, we couldn't find a gaming group locally that we could get together with. And that was one of the things that we were really looking for when we got started into gaming, or got restarted into gaming. So we opened a gaming group, and now we're close to about 600 members. We don't have the room for them, so we obviously need to expand again so that we can get more people together. But we love the hobby. We love what it does for people, how it creates relationships across the table. So yeah, that's our drive, is to try and keep bringing new people in so that they can enjoy what we enjoy, so that they can see that gaming doesn't have to be, hours of a game that you may or may not enjoy, but it can just be about the relationships of meeting people across the table.
How did you build your group? I mean, some people, that's really impressive. So tell me a bit about that, Sonya.
Yeah, we actually started our whole crazy journey by finding a pandemic game at a yard sale, and we played it, fell in love with it, and that was it. We were stuck. We were loving it. So we couldn't find anybody to play with. None of our friends knew any of the games. There just wasn't anything out there. So we wanted to create that game group. We weren't sure if we were going to be the only two there, but we started with 12. And like you said, it's up to almost 600 now. But we wanted to create an environment where people felt like they were coming to our house for coffee. So everyone is welcomed. We introduce everyone to the folks that are there. We get them into a board game. We teach at each of our game groups. So one of us will host, or both if we have a lot of people. And that gives people a chance to sit down and get to know others and get to know the game and find out what they like. And it's interesting to see the transition for now. Some of those folks 5 years ago that we taught new games to, we're seeing them have people come in and go, "Hey, I'm Tom, here, come sit down with me and let me teach you this great game." So that to us is success. It's watching that passion for board games just keep building. So yeah.
Yeah, the method has almost self-perpetuated. The people that we've taught are now teaching others without being prompted, which is fantastic. So yes.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Community is everything. You're absolutely correct on that.
It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so you said along the way you had made plans to do a game cafe. Is that still in your future plans, or?
It is, very much so. We're happy about the progress we made, but we want to keep leveling up and being able to offer even better experiences for our community. Right now we're in a warehouse. It's an air conditioned space. It gets very cold. Well, cold to me. In the winter, it gets very hot to her in the summer. So we need a space that's more welcoming. And we really want that space to feel like you're coming in to a friend's house, that you can come in, enjoy a great beverage, enjoy a good meal, enjoy great games across the table from people you do or don't know.
Right.
We plan to continue running the events that we've started. When safe to do so. Right now, we can run massed events in our space because we can roll up our roll-up doors, and it's basically like being outside. So we can have some very small massed events here, but it's nothing like we were used to prior to COVID. So we want to get back to that and even take it further and keep growing the community, keep letting people know about the hobby that we have that we love so much, and just keep building on that.
Yeah. So over the past year and a half or so, because of the pandemic, really curved your ability to have your large group. How have you adapted and modified your operations, to keep in business? Because it's tough, and I'm just curious how you did it.
We are an online seller. That's how we started. So we have branches into various online marketplaces as well as our own website. We've started a Discord server to help keep our group together. So that's one way. We have weekly meetups on there that are online meetups so that people can get online and play together using the various online services. So that's been a big thing for us. I'm looking forward to the day when I never ship another game, when it is the day where I'm teaching people in the store instead of, teaching people online, which we do. I mean, we try to do things a little bit differently when we ship. The customers that we have online tend to come from places where they don't have an FLGS, where they don't have a store, or the store is so far away that it's not conducive for them to go there. So we try to be there for them. And that's, I would love it if we could come up with a model that other people could copy that don't have an FLGS in their area, that they could start their own gaming group. It's something that we've looked at, and hopefully down the road we get a little bit more time. We can maybe flesh that model out for a little bit.
Sure. Now the warehouse you're in now, when did you move into that space?
We moved in October.
October, okay. Yeah.
So we've only been brick and mortar for about 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. How is it laid out? Do you have like the play space and the retail space, or how are you using your space?
We are literally sitting at one of the 2 tables that we have in our space. Our space is incredibly small. It's maybe 700 square feet of retail. 120 of that, including the bathroom, is air conditioned because it had a small office up in the front. We have a fan that blows the air out, trying to keep, a little bit of coolness in here. But we're sitting in front of part of our library here. We do have a pretty extensive library. We have in our collection probably over 500, maybe 600 games. And the way it's laid out at the moment, I would love to show you, but if I move this laptop, I'm going to lose you because of the wonderful internet that we have here.
Yeah.
The way it's laid out is the front area is the air-conditioned area, per se, is all of the newest and hottest and evergreen games. We have a nice retail portion up front for that. And then we have 2 gaming tables. I can have a maximum of 12 people in here per my building inspector. So that's the max that we can have, and that's the max we've had. So,
but we are wanting to, like you said, level up. We're wanting that. We're wanting out of here so we can get to the next level and have a better place. So That's the plan.
And now that things are seeming to calm down, we're actually in that search again for a new place.
Yep.
Sure. So if you're talking to a retail store who's interested in creating a gaming group or, in their community, how would you recommend they go about doing that?
First, just start it. We did a lot of research, probably more research than we needed to do when we were first looking at starting a gaming group. You can overanalyze anything. We were told by numerous people, hey, don't be upset if you have 2 people or if you're the only 2 people at your first gaming group meetup. We had 11. I was more terrified than thrilled at the moment because I had been told we were going to have 2 people maybe. So, we had 11, but it turned into a wonderful thing. It's been a great experience for us to meet all of these new people and to introduce them to something that we love. Yep. We've benefited tremendously from this. So if somebody wants to start a gaming group, just do it. Just start. Don't worry that you don't know what you're doing. As long as you're coming into it with the right mindset of, look, I want to share this wonderful thing that I know, you can do it. Trust me, it can be done.
And we use meetup.com. So it's got all of the tools that you need. It does the scheduling, it sends the emails. So it's easy for people to get that email and go, oh yeah, there's a game night Friday night. All right, I'm RSVPing and I'm there. So it's easy for us to maintain and for the end user as well. So it's been a great tool.
Yeah, since you mentioned that meetup, I used that for a local barbecue club that I started here in Ohio, and there were three guys. We started this in 10 years ago, hard to believe. We have 800 members in the club now, which is great.
Cool.
And we've not met in over a year, obviously, but we still talk on,
Yeah.
socialize, that sort of stuff. So yeah, but it is amazing people you could find because you said you put yourself out there, you lead with passion, people come attracted to that, you build a community around that. That's great.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess what's next for you guys? Like, what is your timeline? Do you think is going to happen with getting your cafe up? And
Tomorrow.
is that too soon?
Yeah, if we could move into a better space tomorrow, we'd already be there.
Yeah.
We are in the process of looking for a space. I am a former realtor, so I know a lot of people in the commercial real estate space,
Yeah.
and I've got all of them looking for our next spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're hopefully before the shopping season begins in say September, October, we're in and ready to move. So yes,
Awesome,
that's the hope.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is a bit self-story for me, but I want to ask you about your experiences working with Gamma at the Expo. I know you and I talked there in 2019, I think it was, when we first met and chatted, and they saw you then again. And so I was amazed by your enthusiasm at the time. Did you just drive across the country? Is that what you told me?
No, we flew.
Yeah.
You flew that one?
We did.
Okay.
We did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were a little worried at the 2021 that we were going to have to drive back, but you know that was a whole different story.
Yeah.
But yes, no, we flew in. The experience with Gamma has changed over the years, right? When we first joined, I think we would introduce ourselves as online retailers, and it wasn't very well perceived. And I completely understand that, but most people didn't understand that we were non-discounting retailers, right? So everything in our store is MSRP, and everything online is MSRP. So I like to eat, and I don't understand how some of these people sell stuff for so cheap and continue to eat. So yes. So it's changed now that people know who we are in the space. We have great relationships with a lot of the publishers. They support us. They understand what we're trying to do. They understand the community that we're trying to foster where we live. So I think it's changed a lot in that Gamma looks at us a little bit differently, but we're also changing with Gamma too, right? We came into it very, very unknowledgeable about the industry, but we've learned a lot over the past 6 years or so.
Yeah,
So,
the education part of it is, I mean, I go to every class with my pen and pad ready, and I'm ready just to soak up knowledge, because even in the very beginning, we were so green, we didn't know what we were doing. So, we would attend and take massive notes and, just keep leveling up from there. But yeah, it's great to meet other publishers and get to know people and yeah.
And the retailers have been fantastic about supporting us on our journey as well.
Yeah.
So it's really neat to talk to people who have been where we're trying to go. Okay, well, you need to do this. You need to think about this. This is how you get there.
Yeah.
Understanding the retail side of things is a little bit different for, in person than it is for online.
Yeah.
I can sit there all day with spreadsheets and understand how I'm going to sell things online, but it's a little bit different when you're in front of people. There's a different value that comes from being in front of somebody and explaining to them the fun that they're going to have with the game that you're presenting with them, right? And you can't do that online. You can only do that in person. So we've learned a lot from our fellow retailers over the years.
Yeah.
We're very happy to be a part of this organization.
Yep,
So.
absolutely.
I'm really glad to hear that. I know it's that peer-to-peer, I think, that makes the group so special.
Yes.
I'm amazed. I see the people at the expo talking to each other, and the realtors sharing, hey, here's how I did this, or I had this problem, and they come together as a group to solve it, which I think is amazing. And I think that's so special about the industry that we belong to. So
Agreed.
really cool. And you mentioned about being green and figuring things out. It's kind of like us today with our this is only our second time doing this, and this is definitely a work in progress. But I really appreciate you guys taking time to, exactly. But I really appreciate taking time to be with us today to chat a little bit about your story, about your journey with building up your brick and mortar store, and any things you want to leave thoughts for your fellow retailers as we close out this program.
Just as far as for fellow retailers, Sorry, former realtor. As far as for retailers, starting a board game group is not as intimidating as I think a lot of retailers think. We are very much board game focused, and I know a lot of retailers are not. But it doesn't take as much. It doesn't take as much work as maybe you think it does to put these things in your store and to have a lot of fun with them. So I would just encourage them to keep looking at board games because there's a lot of fun in these boxes. So
They really are. Excellent. Well, thank you both very much, and enjoy your nice weather. We will shiver here in Ohio, and hope to see you guys in person soon.
We hope so too.
Very much so. Thanks for having us.
Awesome. My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Well, thanks everybody for watching today, and I want to thank Jamie with Red Raccoon Games, Stefan with Yellow, and of course Sonya and John here with Meeple Movers. And we'll see you guys next month. We bring a couple new stores in, and hope you all take care and be safe. And we'll talk real soon.